Rising uppercut.
Alright, I'm not too good at explaining things, but I'm gonna try my best to explain the way this diagonal punch works. So, we're gonna be using this spot as an example. Using diagonal punch on this spot is not really necessary. It's kind of a, I guess you could say it's a waste of time, but it's a really good way to explain it. So, let's go right here. So, basically when Doomfist punches this little slope, his rocket punch, his momentum changes from going like that, like straight, into like a angle, so like that. And the reason why that works is he's punching this little slope right here. He's punching that, and he kind of just changes his momentum. So the way you want to do this is, okay, so before I even explain, I believe majority, or at least all of these diagonal punch things, you have to jump before you even get the diagonal punch. I have never figured out any spot where you don't need to be in the air or on a roof or on the ground just to get that diagonal punch, because every time I'm on the ground my character just punches straight. So you want to be over here, you're going to charge your punch to the maximum charge, you're going to jump, you're going to let go of punch, you're not going to press space at all, you're just going to let go of punch, he's going to hit this slope, and he's going to fly into the air with rocket punch. Now, the only good thing about this, for this specific spot right here, the only good thing about it is, if there's a Pharaoh up here, you can punch her. So, I mean, other than that, this spot right here to do this diagonal punch is completely useless, because you can actually stand here, jump in the air, and then rocket punch over here, and you could bounce into the air, and you could do the same shit. Like, you can kill the Pharaoh, or you could slam over there. You could literally do the same thing, but I'm only showing this spot as an example so you can understand the way diagonal punch works. You kind of want to think that your feet is the rocket punch. You don't want to think about your fist being the rocket punch. You want to think that it's your feet, because once your feet hits this like angle, like right there, then your character will fly into the air like that with rocket punch. So that's kind of how the way diagonal punch works. I've had these little diagonal punches happen to me in the middle of a game on accident. I'm pretty sure it's happened to like every Doomfist player, where you kind of just punch something and for some reason your character just flies into the air. I haven't seen anybody try to put that like idea into a rollout, and so I'm gonna try to start doing that, and I actually found a really good spot in Eichenwald, which I'll actually show you guys. Alright, so I'm gonna be explaining what's so good about this diagonal punch and how it's gonna change Doomfist in a way in terms of his rollouts. So on Eichenwald on defense, if you come over here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna think that our feet, alright, our actual feet is his rocket punch. He's going to slide on this little slope thing. He's going to go over here, and you could slam over. So I'll show you how that works if I don't mess it up. So we're going to charge our punch to the maximum charge, because we need the maximum distance. And we're going to jump, and we're going to let go of our rocket punch. You see how our character flies diagonally into the air towards this roof? Now, at the end of our rocket punch, you want to press space, and the reason why you want to press space is you want to get another distance, and this is going to allow us to climb about up there, and it's going to allow us slam, and it's going to allow us to uppercut, and then rocket punch out of there. So I'll show you how that works. See? We press space, and we gain more distance, and we're in their backline with a 125 slam, and then we can punch back into safety. Now, a trick with Doomfist is if you're ever on a roof, you can kind of just instead of instantly hitting the roof and then quickly slamming over here, you can kind of just stall on the roof just for a little bit, just to get your cooldown back. So you could just chill up here and then you could slam. That's a little trick with Doomfist that you could do to get your cooldowns back when you're trying to do a rollout. So this is a really good feature with his diagonal punch, because you can pretty much save an uppercut instead of coming over here and then uppercutting, punching, and then like stalling for a bit and then slamming. I think I messed it up. Yeah, I did. But yeah, that's another feature I found that you could do with diagonal punches. Another cool thing you could do is, if you know how to turn punch, where you kind of just punch, you look at a direction and you press space, your character does a turn punch. You can do that while doing this diagonal thing. So if I don't mess it up, yeah, see, you could pretty much turn punch in the air, which is actually cool because you can actually get onto certain high grounds. Now, doing a turn punch here isn't necessary because you could just do this. You really don't need to do a turn punch, but this is when you have to find out if doing a diagonal punch is worth it or not. Because, like, for this spot, coming over here, trying to do this rollout, that's worth it. But, like, trying to do a turn punch from over here, like, in the air is not really worth it. Unless you're trying to get a Pharah, but, like, that's some crazy shit. Like, you could just go, like that. Like, that's actually gonna be insane for killing Pharahs and shit like that. If anybody pulls that off, dude, that's actually insane. Yeah, I think that's what's really cool about this diagonal punch thing, and hopefully they won't patch it like how they did with crouch slam, where you'd get like more slam damage by doing that, and you can like slam down the stairs. I don't know, it got patched, but hopefully they don't patch this. I did include this in the Doomfist bug videos because it's really annoying when you're trying to punch somebody and you get this fucking diagonal punch thing and your character just goes in the air and, instead of hitting the person, which is really annoying. But so I'm deciding to just actually use this feature to actually make it like good with Doomfist, at least somewhat useful. Anyways, I'll be showing you some other spots. I'll be posting on the Doomfist Rollout Reddit page if I find any neat spots. If you guys find anything, you can also post there too. I'll put that link in the description. Alright, so we're going to be taking Diagonal Punch a little step further. This is probably the most complicated part about Diagonal Punch because you're adding a bunch of different things, timing, turn punching, and all of that nonsense. So on Nubani, if you come onto this bus right here on attack, you see the slope. What we're going to do is we're going to be jumping onto the slope and we're going to rocket punch. So what we're going to do from the start, we're going to charge our punch to the maximum power, okay, because that's going to give us the maximum distance. We're going to jump backwards and we're going to rocket punch. Now the timing is difficult. You kind of want to think that your feet are the rocket punch. So you want to make sure you're thinking that that is your rocket punch and not that, okay? So try to learn the height of Doomfist. He's like 10 feet in real life, but like in the game he's like 2 feet. So we're gonna charge our rocket punch, jump backwards, and then we're gonna rocket punch. Now I messed it up already because I'm not even consistent with this, but you see that? You see how I gained a vertical height with his rocket punch? I mean, yeah, you can come up here with rocket punch, that's cool and all, but we're gonna take that a little step further. Right before our character comes up here, we're gonna do a turn punch. Now if you don't know how to do a turn punch, all you do is charge your punch. Okay, you let go of your punch, you look at a direction, left or right. So, you see that? Left or right while using your rocket punch. And then you press space. And then your character will punch in a direction you're looking at. So like that. It cancels this punch though, just keep that in mind. So, we're gonna do a turn punch right before our character hits his maximum distance with his rocket punch. If I can actually get this. Like I can't do it anymore. You see that? That's what's really sick about diagonal punching is you could do a really sick rollout and you can actually land over here with your slam and uppercut, which is pretty sick. For cool points you can get Pharahs and stuff, and then you can like spray and teabag. Like that's the most important part after killing a Pharah in midair and doing that. Yeah, that's what's really dope about diagonal punching. It's not the same as bouncing. A lot of people think it's bouncing. It's not. When you bounce, you punch at an object and you press space right before your character hits it and he bounces in the air. That cancels your rocket punch, okay? People don't know that, but it cancels your rocket punch. You can do the diagonal punch right here, which is not that useful. I mean, okay, let's say somebody's standing here. Let's say it's a soldier, right? And you do the... Oh, my bad. And you do the diagonal punch right here, and your character punches over. Okay. And your character punches here. He's gonna punch the soldier into the wall and impact him. That's like getting that to happen is gonna be kind of rare because they have to be in the right position, and it's just a lot of things that just need to happen. But it is possible to punch the soldier from there to there. Like it's possible. You can even kill Pharahs in mid-air using this diagonal punch trick. Which is pretty cool. So yeah, that's how you do diagonal punch. This has existed on Doomfist for I pretty much believe since he came out. I haven't seen anyone try to use this little trick to actually do rollouts with and actually do anything with Doomfist, but hopefully that can change and maybe I could see people posting some sick rollouts and shit like that with his diagonal punching thing. I mean that's what I want to call it, because he does kind of punch in a diagonal way. There's not really an official name for it, but